What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to take a look and a listen to the Social Security Commissioner talking about overpayments. So he was asked a question by Senator Menendez regarding overpayments and how they plan to collect money in the future. So they're not going to be collecting 100%. I did a video a couple of days ago and I talked about this, but I want you to hear from the commissioner's mouth when it comes to how they plan to move forward with repayments. And also, this is impacting about 1 million people. About 1 million people last year received a letter saying that they owed money to the Social Security Administration because they were overpaid. And in some situations, they were being overpaid for years before the Social Security Administration caught on to this. So I'm going to show you guys this clip. We'll talk a little bit about it. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. And just a reminder, thank you for your support. And make sure you join us every Thursday at 5:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be talking about Social Security and other headline news. Okay, so let's go ahead. I want to play this clip for you guys, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. Here we go.
Thank you, Chairman. Governor, I hope you had a good St. Patrick's Day. It was... when you came before the committee in November, I asked you about your commitment to improve.
Yes, and Senator Bob Menendez is still in office. He has not resigned. You guys don't know, he has been indicted, so he is going through a court process right now, and we'll see how that pans out. But it doesn't look good for him, and he's had several senators have called upon him to resign, but he refuses to do so.
Payment accuracy. As you know, my office has heard from beneficiaries who have received letters saying they must pay back thousands, or in some cases tens of thousands of dollars to the government. I've been pleased to see your demonstrated commitment to addressing overpayment inequities, but there's more work to be done. This issue spans from a challenging appeals process, low staffing that leads to beneficiaries receiving bills that date back 30 years, and challenges around payroll data. How will the president's budget help address this multifaceted problem that leads to overpayments?
Yes, Senator, thank you for your question, and thank you for urging us forward to do even more. The things that I announced today about moving away from the 100% intercept, on the default position, shifting of the burden, all of those things will make a difference. There's still other things that we need to untangle and figure out with regard to administrative finality and the like. But you kind of put your finger on one of the problems, and it's this. We have not seen more citizens being assessed overpayments, but we have seen the time it takes to assess the overpayment grow, and therefore the debt itself grow, because of the shortage of staff and the extra length of time it takes before we discover it.
Okay, and that's key. That's key what he's talking about here. The length of time, that's the problem. So you have people who've been receiving these overpayments for, let's say, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And the longer it goes, the more money that you owe, and you're going to owe that in a lump sum payment once the Social Security Administration finds out about it. So that was the problem in the past, where you would get this letter saying, guess what? You owe us $40,000 because we've been overpaying you for the last 7 or 8 years. And so that's the huge problem. People look at that and they're thinking, I can't afford to pay this. I'm on a fixed income. How am I going to pay this off? And so the issue here, the real issue is that they need to catch it as soon as it starts happening. The sooner they can catch it, then it becomes less of a big problem. So if it's months down the road, let's say they overpay you for 3 or 4 months, that's much different than overpaying you for years, because now they can send you a letter and say, look, sorry, but we were overpaying you for the last 3 months, and we're going to have to set up some type of a payment plan. And it could, for you, it could be $10, it could be $15 that you have to pay in order to pay it off. Every month you pay it. So that's a much better situation than waiting years down the road and then you find out and now you don't know how you're going to make it, and a lot of people are not going to be able to make it because even Martin O'Malley, the commissioner, has indicated that now the automatic withdrawal will be about 10%. Okay, so it's not going to go over 10%. Whereas before they were taking, so let's say you owed $40,000 and you're receiving Social Security benefits and you don't respond to the letter that was sent out to you, they would take your whole Social Security benefit check. So you would get nothing. But now they can't take more than 10%. But still, let's say you're getting the average of $1,800 a month and you're in this situation where you owe $40,000 to the Social Security Administration because you've been overpaid for years. Now all they can take is $180. However, and that's per month. However, $180 that's a payment. That's a bill that you might not be able to pay now because they're taking that because of the overpayment thing. So, I mean, it's still a bad situation. 10% is still a lot, but at least it's better than them taking your whole check. Because I can imagine they take your whole check. You still have to buy food. You still have to have a place to stay. So pay rent, mortgage, all of that. You're not going to have any money to do those things because they've taken your whole check. So now they're saying, okay, 180, and I'm saying $180. That's just based on the average, but it's not as big as a hit as if they were taking your whole check.
Or before we're able to contact the person and make arrangements. So,
and that's simply not fair.
Pardon?
That's simply not fair.
What's not fair? That we should have staffing that it should take us that long?
That the time frame that it took to ultimately make those determinations have added to a cost that otherwise would not have existed.
That's true. It's not fair. People have paid for their customer service. It comes out of the same trust fund it always has, back when it was 1.2%. And so you ask, what would the president's budget do for us on that? It would allow us to restore many of the staff losses that will allow us to narrow that amount of time. So as I said before, 75% of the debts in the Title II OASDI are $5,000 or less. 92% of people get a hold of us, but in an agency this big, if you're harming 8% of the people, that's a lot of people.
Well, I look forward to your work in this and to hearing as you go along if there are other things that need to be done. I'd like to know. I'm sure members of the committee would.
Thank you, Senator.
Okay, so that was Martin O'Malley talking about these overpayments. Now, one of the things that he talked about was the 75% of the claims, or the 75% of the letters that are sent out, are showing that people owe $5,000 or less, which, I mean, $5,000 is still a lot of money, but it's not some of the stories that we've been hearing. Some of the stories we've been hearing are $40,000, $50,000, $100,000. So hopefully they'll be able to really, and he was talking about the budget and how they need more money to hire more staff so they can really do the investigations that they need in order to make sure that this is not happening in the future. And then also the PI system that they're going to have on board, hopefully very, very soon, where that will automatically catch a lot of these situations where these overpayments are happening. But the bottom line is it looks like they're addressing this situation, and that's good, because last year I was doing videos about this, and it looked bad. There were a lot of people that they had these huge bills that they needed to pay, and they were coming from the Social Security Administration, sending out these letters. Over almost 1 million letters were sent out. And so the good news is they are taking this very seriously, and I'm glad that they are. But I want to know what you guys think about this, so let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one.